Seoul's Foreign Minister Park Jin congratulated his new Chinese counterpart Shin Gang on his recent inauguration. In their very first phone talks, the two top diplomats of South Korea and China vowed to work closely to tackle challenges and discuss mutual interests. New policies for parents in South Korea. Parental leave for working parents will be expanded from the current 1 year to a year and 6 months when both are working. And there'll be a full-time childcare system adopted nationwide by 2025. Hundreds of people have been arrested following the storming of Brazil's Congress. Brazilian President Lula has vowed to punish supporters of the country's ex-leader Jair Bolsonaro who were involved in the protests. Good morning. South Korean Foreign Minister Park Jin held phone talks with China's new top diplomat Shin Gang to offer congratulations on his recent inauguration. The two sides reaffirmed their commitment to boost Seoul-Beijing ties. Our Lee Seung-jae starts us off.
According to Seoul's foreign ministry on Monday, South Korean Foreign Minister Park Jin held phone talks with his new Chinese counterpart Shin Gang, where Park offered congratulations on his recent inauguration. During their first phone talks, the two sides reaffirmed their country's commitment to boosting bilateral relations and discussed pending issues on the Korean peninsula, including North Korea's escalating provocations and ensuring stable supply chains. According to the Chinese Foreign Ministry, Chin said South Korea and China are close neighbors that will always live next to each other and partners that cannot be separated, adding that the sound and steady development of the two countries' relations serves as a common interest. He also noted that he would like to forge and maintain a good working relationship with Park and jointly implement any important consensus reached by the leaders of the two countries. However, the new Chinese foreign minister also expressed concerns about the recent temporary restrictions imposed by South Korea on arrivals from China and voiced his hope that South Korea would uphold an objective and scientific attitude. Chen was appointed in late December to replace Wang Yi and previously served as ambassador to the United States. Marking his inauguration, Park last week in a congratulatory letter expressed his willingness to cooperate with Chen in maintaining high-level communications. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
The new year brings changes to policies, and in 2023, South Korea is fulfilling vows to help working parents. Parental leave for working parents will be expanded from 1 year to 18 months. Our Han Sang-woo tells us more.
In an effort to address the country's extremely low birth rate, South Korea is looking to lengthen parental leave for working parents from the current 1 year to a year and 6 months when both are working. That's according to the Labor Ministry, which on Monday briefed President Yoon Suk-yeol on its policy direction for the new year, along with the nation's health authorities and the Ministry of Gender Equality and Family. Labor officials also plan to up the quota of foreign workers on non-professional employment visas to ease worker shortages caused by the pandemic in industries that rely heavily on a foreign workforce. They've decided to issue E9 visas to an annual record high of 110,000 foreign workers this year, and are also seeking to revise the law to allow foreign workers to stay more than 10 years in Korea without having to leave the country and re-enter. And to reduce injuries and deaths in the workplace, the ministry is also pushing to force companies to adopt a so-called risk assessment system that will apply to companies with 300 or more employees this year and be expanded to include smaller firms with 5 or more workers by 2025. Considering the need to change relevant laws, parliamentary friction is expected, but in his opening remarks before being briefed in the afternoon, President Yoon did stress that politics must not get in the way of improving people's lives.
이게 선출된 정부가 하는 일이긴 합니다만은 절대로 이런 일들은 정치나 선거나 이런 진영이나 이런 데 영향을 받아서는 안 되고 정말 국민만 생각할 줄 아는 그런 데에서 우리 국민의 세금을 정말 아주 효과적으로 써야 된다는 그런 말씀을 드리고 싶고요.
한성우, 아리랑 뉴스.
South Korea's education ministry vowed to phase in a full-time childcare system for 200 schools from March this year, with plans for expansion to all elementary schools by 2025. The so-called Neulbom Schools system will allow elementary school students to engage in a variety of extracurricular activities until as late as 8 p.m. to help working parents. In Korea, regular school hours for elementary school students generally end around 1 p.m., which has been a major cause of career discontinuity for women. To improve the situation, the ministry plans to inject over $3 billion into the program over the course of 5 years. And most of the programs, including meal costs, will be free of charge during the trial period. The latest move is one of the Yoon administration's core national tasks for the nation to take more responsibility for helping parents nurture young children. South Korea may soon see the indoor mask mandate lifted, but health authorities say it all depends on the number of severe cases. Our Kim Jong-sil explains.
Health authorities in South Korea say they could start discussions next week on adjusting the indoor mask mandate. In a briefing on Monday, South Korea's COVID-19 Task Force Director Chung Ki-seok told reporters about the possibility of the adjustment.
If we see the number of those in severe conditions stably declining this week, we may officially begin discussing next week about the adjustment of the indoor mask mandate.
Chung added that South Korea is seeing a decline of about 10% in new COVID-19 cases from the third week of December. However, that there is no declining trend in the number of severe cases. He said it's possible there might be problems involving a new variant or the degree of vaccine immunity or the medicine used for treatment. Chung said it's important that officials take a closer look at the situation. When asked about the possibility of China's recent reopening of its borders posing a threat to South Korea, Chung said it's not likely. Regarding the situation in China, Chung said the number of arriving passengers who tested positive of COVID-19 is very low, saying China's recent reopening of pandemic border controls will not affect South Korea too much. According to South Korean authorities on Sunday, 14.8% of passengers from China arriving at Incheon International Airport on Saturday tested positive for COVID-19. But the number of arrivals from China is likely to increase as the country's one of the biggest holidays, Chinese New Year, or Chunjie, begins next weekend. Kim Jong-sil, Arirang News.
A Russian missile attack on a market in Kharkiv region has left at least 2 dead and 7 others injured on Monday. Authorities say children were among the casualties. Meanwhile, Russian and Ukrainian human rights commissioners will meet in Turkey later this week to discuss the possibility of further prisoner exchanges. The two countries have conducted numerous prisoner swaps since the war began last February, including the recent exchange of 50 prisoners of war from each side. Ukraine says it also wants to raise the issue of the return of civilian hostages, which it says Russia detained en masse in occupied territories of Ukraine. It's been rather a peaceful first week or so of the new year here on the Korean Peninsula since North Korea fired a short-range ballistic missile on January 1st. But that doesn't mean we should let our guard down due to the high level of unpredictability surrounding the regime's provocations. For more on the situation, we connect with Professor Kim Young-jun at Korea National Defense University. Good morning, Professor Kim.
Good morning.
All right, let's start with Kim Jong-un's birthday over the weekend. The leader had his 39th birthday on Sunday, but there was no celebration or even a mention of it. And unlike his grandfathers or fathers, his birthday is yet to be recognized as a holiday. Why is it? And is there any possibility that his birthday will be commemorated in the future?
Yes, there was no national holiday or no event for Kim Jong-un's birthday for this year as well. And for example, Kim Jong-il, when he became official successor, when he was age 40 years old in 1974, finally in 1982, his birthday became national holiday, and in 1995, his birthday, Kim Jong-il's birthday, became the one of the biggest national holiday in North Korea. So, at this context, Kim Jong-un's birthday will be national holiday in 5 years or in 10 years, and among his policy suggestion, among the two policy objectives, one is already achieved about nuclear power, but this economic development has not been achieved yet. So after he shows some kind of outcome of his economic development, he'll become the national holiday stage in this context.
Right, and actually next year he marks his 40th birthday, so we could expect that some might actually happen or be commemorated in the future, in the near future. And also moving on to provocations, there have been signs of preparations for a military parade, and some experts are saying that the parade could take place on Kim's birthday, which it didn't. So when do you think the parade will actually take place?
Yeah, many experts expect the parade will be for Kim Jong-un's birthday, actually 8th of January, but it was not happen. So next possibility will be the foundation of the Korean People's Army Day, which is now is 75 years anniversary, which will be 8th of February next month. So this parade will be now is around the number of the 13,000 soldiers in the military parade will be the celebration for the Korean People's Army Foundation Day in 8th of February.
Sure, and North Korea reportedly held its first exhibition on tourist souvenirs in Pyongyang last month, reportedly, but this could mean the regime's latest effort to revitalize the related industries. Do you think this is a good signal to reopening of the regime's borders?
Yes, that is a good sign for the possibility of opening border. Yes, sovereignty exhibition is for foreign tourism industry near future. So now after the COVID-19 almost finished in North Korea as well, so it'll be possible. So at the same time, strong military posture will be possible with the opening border because in North Korea, incorporatable strong military posture and tourism industry always been exist at the same time. So this will be possible opening border for tourism industry at the same time strong military posture, including 7 nuclear weapon tests.
Sure, the footages sure are very interesting to look at since it was the first exhibition as well. All right, thank you, Professor Kim, for your insight this morning. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much for having me.
We're just a day away from the 80th Golden Globe Awards. Korean director Park Chan-wook's decision to leave is among the nominees, and a win would mean more history written for Korean cinema to follow the film Parasite that won the award in the Best Non-English Language category in 2020. Our Song Yoo-jin reports.
One of Hollywood's biggest parties is back. The 80th Golden Globe Awards is set to take place at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills, California on Tuesday local time, with a lot of glitz and glamour expected. Also, some great news for Korean production, specifically in the movie industry. Star director Park Chan-wook's latest film, Decision to Leave, is among the contenders for an award. Last December, the film was nominated in the Best Picture non-English language category. It'll be competing with Germany's All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina's Argentina 1985, the Netherlands, France, and Belgium's Close, and India's RRR. Experts predict there'll be good news.
Park Chan-wook won the Best Director award for Decision to Leave at last year's Cannes Film Festival. I think that outcome will influence the Golden Globe judges' decision.
Park is a world-renowned director, and though the movie is a complex romantic thriller, its plot is easily understandable because it deals with ordinary emotions that we encounter in our daily lives. I also think chances are high because Korean movies are receiving great attention worldwide these days.
And if the movie does win, it raises hopes that more trophies could be on the way, with Oscar nominations to be unveiled later in January.
The winners may not always be identical, but winning at the Golden Globes certainly sets the mood that a movie is being highly evaluated and that it's the it content at the moment. So definitely a smooth road ahead for the Academy Awards.
This is the fourth year that a Korean actor or production has been nominated at the event, with success seen for the past 3 years. All eyes will be on whether Decision to Leave will continue this winning streak. 송유진, Arirang News.
Restricted access to some UNESCO World Heritage sites means that it can be difficult for visitors to truly appreciate their significance. But thanks to AI and augmented reality, virtual tours can now have these sites brought to life with 360-degree visualizations. Our 신세벽 has more.
Colorful layers of white and yellow decorating the wall. Soda straws stretching from floor to ceiling, water droplets echoing through the tunnel. You are looking at the secretive inside of Yongcheon-dongul Cave in Jeju, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's not open to the public.
Though access to the actual Yongcheon-dongul Cave may be limited, it's been brought to life with the help of AR and 3D technologies, meaning visitors can interact directly.
The Natural Heritage Center in the city of Daejeon provides 6 pieces of immersive content, and one is the virtual tour through the lava tunnel. 10 projectors use 3D scanned data to bring the cave to life. It even features remains of animals, artifacts from the Shilla dynasty, and blind cavefish.
It was great to see something that you can't see in real life. These were so realistic.
Another room presents 2 of the country's nature reserves, Hallasan Mountain and Seongsan Ilchulbong Peak, with augmented 360-degree visualization.
I only learned about those sites in books. This exhibition gives me the feeling as if I'm actually at those sites.
A tap on a smartphone screen brings dinosaurs to life. Zooming in and out, moving left to right, augmented dinosaurs give visitors a better understanding of the ancient creatures. A smart screen over a mammoth remains shows what the beast would have looked like. It tracks your movement, so you can view it from different angles. The latest advances in technology can preserve natural heritage while teaching people about those sites.
Cutting-edge technology like AR enable visitors to interact with natural heritage, though far away, while preserving natural heritage as it is.
The center plans to feature all 11 nature reserves in South Korea with AR technology in the near future. It will also expand the exhibition to grant visitors more immersive heritage site experiences. 신세벽, Arirang News, Daejeon.
For a look at the news from around the world, we now turn to our Matthew Ashley standing by at the Arirang News Center. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning, Tommy.
All right, let's start in Brazil, where hundreds of people have been arrested following the storming of Brazil's Congress, an event that's been compared to the January 6th insurrection at the U.S. Capitol.
Well, that's right. Around 1,500 people have been taken into custody so far, and this comes after supporters of former President Jair Bolsonaro broke through security barriers and entered buildings linked to all three branches of the country's government in Brasilia. Now, a majority of those arrested were detained on Monday at a pro-Bolsonaro encampment outside the country's military headquarters. On the same day, a letter signed by Brazilian President Lula da Silva and the heads of the Supreme Court, Senate and Lower House denounced acts of terrorism and vandalism and vowed to take legal action. Now, the writing came a week after leftist President Lula da Silva was sworn into office. Tensions had been brewing since Bolsonaro lost the October 30th presidential runoff election and has refused to concede defeat. Now, meanwhile, in Germany, hundreds of climate activists are in a standoff with local authorities in the condemned village of Lützerath. The village is said to be swallowed up by the expansion of the Garzweiler mine, operated by the local energy company RWE. But activists have dug in, setting up inside abandoned homes. This despite a court order to evacuate the area. Authorities say protesters have until Tuesday to leave, after which clearance operations begin. The standoff comes as the country faces an energy crisis brought on by Russia's war on Ukraine that has left Germany without much-needed gas supplies. Now, despite Germany's previous moves to rely less on fossil fuels, the shortfall is now being partly addressed by using more coal. Turning over to the UK now, where in the last hour the country carried out the first ever orbital satellite rocket launch from British soil. 9 satellites were blasted into space from a rocket launched from a repurposed Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747 called Cosmic Girl. The plane took off from Newquay Airport in Cornwall just after 10 p.m. local time. The plane released the rocket called Launcher 1 from its left wing after reaching an altitude of about 10,000 meters above the Atlantic Ocean. According to experts, this type of horizontal launch allows the delivery of payloads into a specific orbit from areas where conventional launching methods are not possible. The launch satellites will serve both commercial and military uses. And finally, captain of the Wales national football team, Gareth Bale, announced on Monday his retirement from the sport. Bale has played 113 matches for the country and is the national team's all-time leading goalscorer. Widely considered one of the greatest wingers of his time, he has also won 5 Champions League titles in his career with Real Madrid. On the same day, France national team captain Hugo Lloris announced his retirement from international football. The 36-year-old Tottenham Hotspur goalkeeper led France in 2018 to their second World Cup title and captained the team again to the final in 2022. Lloris has made a record 145 appearances for France, 121 of them as captain.
Good morning. Air quality that's been causing headaches for the last few days have finally improved a bit. Although Chungcheongbuk-do and Gyeongsang-Buk-do provinces will see bad levels of air quality all day today. Then air quality will become poor again in the capital and Jeollabuk-do province tonight. It's a chillier start to the day. Morning temperatures are about 7 to 10 degrees lower than the same time yesterday. Then afternoon highs will rise fast, going to a similar range to yesterday under mostly sunny skies nationwide. So afternoon highs in Seoul will be at 7 degrees Celsius, while southern parts of the country will see highs hovering above 10 degrees Celsius. So Daegu and Gwangju will be topping out at 11 degrees Celsius, while dry weather alerts remain in place for East Coast regions, such including Busan and Ulsan. And it will only get warmer heading towards the end of the week. Then a nationwide mix of rain and snow will trigger wintry weather in the country again next week. With that in mind, here's a look at the weather conditions around the globe.
That wraps up today's New Day at Arirang. We'll be back tomorrow for Wednesday's edition at the same time. Do stay with us for more updates throughout the day. Thanks for watching.